Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new video. This is Chris, the American Mag, talking football. And in today's video, we got Gary Neville, the infamous or famous pundit, very cutthroat pundit, that came out and said that he's hinting that Manchester City's 115 FFP charges will always cloud Pep Guardiola's claim to being the Premier League's best ever manager. Um, Very controversial takes. Of course, Man City are awaiting an outcome with the 115 FFP charges that are, you know, that are being talked about. Of course, that they are facing. Pep Guardiola's side lifted the sixth Premier League title in 7 years of his tenure on Sunday. Of course, you know that. To me, well deserved champions. And Gary Neville came out and talked. Of course, he said. Um, that Pep Guardiola's relative success in the Premier League will always be overshadowed by the 115 charges that Man City are facing for allegedly breaching financial rules. I mean, it depends on how you look at things, in my opinion. I don't agree with this. I want to know your opinion though. You're a fan of football. You're a fan of the Premier League. You're a fan of English football, and you might be a Man City fan. You might be a Liverpool fan. You might be an Arsenal fan. Whatever it is, I want your objective perspective on this situation because we can't get carried away either. Obviously, Pep Guardiola has been a manager. I mean, he managed probably one of the best teams in the history of football in Barcelona, as far as looking good, tiki taka type football, playing from the back, passing, flares, all that stuff. And we cannot forget that. And that has nothing to do with the Premier League. In second thought, in my honest opinion, this FFP situation, yeah, I also say this, if you're charged with 115 charges, that is a lot. That is a lot. But you're going back before Pep was a manager. Before Pep was a manager. So if I'm not correct, I'm not an expert on this stuff, and I don't pretend to be, and I could care less really. But if I'm just from knowing the small facts, I think this goes back to Pellegrini football, if I'm not mistaken, when Tevez was there, when Robinho was there. So it's kind of he wasn't even a part of this. He wasn't even a part of this, and they didn't win their first title until Pep Guardiola got there. And I'm sorry, that's not right. But regardless, he managed Barcelona. He managed Bayern Munich as well, winning titles there. Didn't win the amount of titles that everybody wanted him. He wanted to win the Champions League, etc. They couldn't do that. But he got to Man City in 2016, and of course, he's won several titles with the citizens until today. You know, winning Premier Leagues, winning Champions League, won Champions League, winning FA Cups, winning Carabao Cups, Community Shields. They won a lot of titles. Certainly, taking over. Man City was not a club like this, was not an elite club, was not a big club, even though they beat my team, Newcastle United, back in the 70s, I believe, on an FA Cup. And even though they won that cup, they really weren't considered a big club throughout history, even though they are a club that was founded a long time ago. But this takeover was significantly um, great for them. So I don't know if it overshadows all that. Who did they get? I mean, it's just I have a friend, Laurent Cortines, and he used to do a podcast with me in this channel, by the way. We used to do a podcast, a Football Tonight podcast, or the Squeaky Bum Time podcast. And he told me this before. I could care less about the 115 charges. He said, relegate me now. That's fine. We'll come back next year. And it would almost be a joke for Man City to get relegated because they would I don't even know if they would suffer, to be honest. I would think they would take it as a trip. Now, remember, you are innocent until proven guilty. I don't do this banter and stuff where you get on and all of a sudden something is said about a club and you follow it and you scream out of the sky and just cuss. You know, I defended Arsenal this season because I don't think that they bottled the season. And a lot of fans just waiting, Chelsea fans, Spurs fans waiting to say the Arsenal bottled. They didn't do it this time. They did it last season, of course, with City again, and this time they went around and City was in their way. However, they didn't bottle it, in my honest opinion. And so we try to put some objective thought in this, because if not, it's just a no man's land. Um, but you still got to say the city is innocent until proven guilty. They're awaiting an outcome for the 115 charges that are strongly denied by the club, by the way, which include a failure to provide accurate financial information between 2009 in 10 and 2017 and 18. They would have to do, like, Pep Guardiola was there in 17, 18, but he has nothing to do with 9 and 10. And also a failure to provide accurate details, player and manager payments during the same period, and alleged breaches of Premier League and UEFA financial rules. A total of 35 relate to a failure to cooperate with the Premier League investigations. And so, look, into this matter between 2018 and February 23. Uh, a date for City's hearing has yet to be confirmed, with legal challenges and appeals is likely to drag on for several years yet. So, I mean, they are not guilty right now, and but also using common sense, I will say that 115 charges, it looks like you will get charged with something, because 115 charges, can you get away from that? Well, we'll have to see. But none of us know really until we find the day. Until, if we were in court, we would know. But none of us are going to be there, and so we'll just know what the verdict is and go from there. So they are innocent until proven guilty, and everything that Pep Guardiola does not get stained by this. Neville, speaking on the Stick to Football podcast, brought to you by Sky Bet, was discussing whether Guardiola could be considered the best manager ever in the Premier League, but suggested there would always be a but until the outcome reached. To be honest with you, I have never, never, never in the history of this have even thought of, and even YouTubers that I watch sometimes never even mentioned this, as far as, you're not the greatest or you're going to be stained. I think this is something that Gary Neville is just putting out there, putting the seed out there and letting it grow and see where it goes. Uh, and so, but he also continues saying what Pep Guardiola has done. I'm not even, I'm not even a short period of, in not even a short period of time. You can't deny that if someone but Pep, uh, top manager in the Premier League, I wouldn't say you're out of order. I just say Sir Alex Ferguson. So he's saying in this messed up text that I'm reading, that if anybody tells him that Pep is the greatest manager of all time, he will say you're out of order. It's Sir Alex Ferguson. Well, obviously he's got a tie to Man United, so what is he going to say, right? It's tough. I think career wise, you can say that Pep Guardiola has done more because he's done it with different teams. He's won with different teams in different leagues, different players. Yes, he's got one of the greatest in Messi, but also Sir Alex Ferguson had Cristiano Ronaldo, and you know you would say he probably accomplished less um, than Guardiola. So, but Sir Alex Ferguson has, my respect. Obviously, he's one of the greatest. But looking at this objectively, obviously Gary Neville is not going to say ever that Pep Guardiola is the greatest, because he's got Sir Alex Ferguson to even uh, to go to every time. So listen, I don't blame him for that, but I do find it a little bit weird that he's saying that this right now. But let me know in the comment section down below what you think. I really want to know what your perspective. I want to know your position on this, and all objectively. Let's talk about football objectively and what you think. Maybe there's a gray area where you can say, well, they're not guilty now, so I think he's good. But if he's found guilty on the years that he was in the team, that could maybe. But did they win that year? Did they win the next year? Did they win? We have to get literal and get down to the bottom of it. That way you can know exactly what's going on and how to proceed as far as labeling managers at this point in time. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and don't forget the FA Cup final watch along here, and also the Champions League final in this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. My name is Chris, the American Mag. We'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.